Welcome to the Lakeshow podcast presented by Jack in the Box. It's a weekly deep dive into the biggest stories and topics surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm Allie Clifton, Christopher McGee, Michael Francis Bresnahan. I called you that on television the other day, not even thinking, and someone tweeted at me just with laughing faces. And
Was
Michael
it
Francis Bresnahan, and it was not Broderick Turner.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So they appreciated it. They loved it.
They loved it. Francis has a very endearing quality, doesn't it?
It is real, though, right?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I grew up in a very Irish Catholic household.
It goes really well together.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Did you guys know my mom was a nun for 5 years?
Dude, you told me that.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
I've seen the collection.
You've met my mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just going to give your mom props and be like, oh, your mom, she just put it all together so well. She's wonderful. And then you were like, did you know my mom was...
Yeah.
That just made me laugh there.
Apparently, I told my grandma, my Italian grandmother, and my Italian mother that I wanted to be a priest when I was 5, and they were so proud. And then by 7, apparently, I told them I'm out because you can't get married.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah.
You knew at 7
learned
you
young.
wanted to be married? What is wrong with you?
I don't know, but I just found out like you can't. Like, so I was like, what's the, come on.
Yeah.
Well, you were in it for 2 years, though. At
I
least
like
there's
the
that.
ladies at 7, I guess.
Apparently.
Julia Zabel. That might have been my first crush, maybe, I think. I don't know.
Who?
I was thinking of back in the day.
Are you Facebook friends with
St.
her?
Catherine's. No.
No. Okay.
No.
St. Catherine's. St. Cat's.
St. Catherine's.
Yeah.
Grades 1 through 8, 30 kids all the way through.
Wait, say it again?
30 kids. You have 30 kids in your class all the way through from grades 1 through 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you went to Crespi.
Yeah.
And the world was changed forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I for one...
Half the boys went to Crespi, yeah.
Yeah,
So I went to school with some of those guys all the way through.
I, for one, am glad that my mom decided to leave the convent, or else it would just be the two of you on this podcast. I wouldn't be here.
There'd be no Michael Francis Bresnahan.
So thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. Thanks for leaving the convent.
That would be a rotating chair.
It would be.
Medina, BT.
Yeah. She there we go, the voice of God. She met my dad.
Were you an altar boy?
No, I wasn't. My mom left the convent, met my dad within a year at a fraternity party at the University of Illinois. So she went from straight
You're
from
a frat baby?
Yeah, I'm not sure it happened that night.
Oh.
But
she was like at Mitchapalooza's party. And...
Nacho, I got Nacho to laugh.
But yeah, she was always the fun parent in high school.
Music is phenomenal.
Parties at the house.
Do you know how you were conceived? I mean, like, when?
Yeah, I think kind of. I'm trying to remember the story. Nah, I never really got like the...
For example, my sister was a honeymoon baby.
Oh, no. Yeah,
So, like,
there's no special story.
wow.
No special story.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Allie, you have a religious background like Geeter and me?
This music is literally bringing me back to my altar boy days.
Are you getting hive, Skeet?
Were you good
only
at
went
it?
to altar boy. You wanted to be an altar boy because you got to go to this place called Pickwick's. It was like a swimming all day. You got a field trip for free, and you got to go to a Dodger game.
Oh, dude.
So all the boys would just be altar boys, so we could do
The
that.
Lord loves
that's
the
awesome.
Dodgers? That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was Pickwick's the bowling?
God's for sure a Laker fan too.
Oh, no, it was the Corbin Bowl.
Corbin Bowl. Yeah. Bowling.
Allie, what were you growing up? Were you religious? Were you
She was trouble.
going to be a
Trouble.
nun?
I was trouble.
You were not going to be a nun.
She wasn't
not gonna be a
trouble
nun.
until like was it junior?
Until I
senior?
moved here and met Geeter.
Yeah.
That's when I started
Like
to get in some trouble.
Because your dad, you were kind of scared because your dad was like
I was a principal's kid.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Not a
that's-
priest
My
kid,
mom
but I
was
was
in
a
my
That's
high
its own
school, so I was
religion.
much worse grades 1 through 8. I got in tons of trouble. But when I was at high school, I cleaned up my act. Plus, like a lot of the coaches were teachers, and I was scared of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the
Like
principal's office.
it's
a couple
pretty
times.
humiliating. Like we had coaches, like my geography teacher was unbelievable. You'd have to do push-ups if you're like caught talking or something, and wall sits during class. Like probably couldn't get away with that now, but back then it was awesome.
Wall sits?
Yes, you'd just be doing push-ups like in front of the class, counting and stuff. It's just
Like
unbelievable.
there you are, Geet.
There
Altar
I am.
boy.
That was pretty quick work by Andrew Miller.
Wow.
Who comes up with the music? Is that Andrew Miller too?
That's trans. I was gonna say that's one.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
DJ Trans.
All right.
All right.
Let's take this. Let's take
Yeah.
this mass
Segue.
into the Lakers. The last time we saw them, they beat the Hawks by 30.
It was a heavenly win. Oh,
I
sorry.
can't even remember the game. I was
Heavenly
telling
win.
you guys when we were in the other room. I totally forgot about that game.
By the way, I went to practice today and I saw Dan Wojcicki, and I couldn't wait to tell him how proud of him I was for the way in which he handled that interview with Austin Reeves.
That was funny.
I thought it
That was
was
great.
phenomenal.
Because I'm a good reporter. Is a great line.
Yeah, I'm a good reporter. Yeah, and our view is not the same as your view.
Yeah,
That was,
that was great.
my God.
Good exchange.
So they snapped a 2-game losing streak. There's 13 games to go. I think I know your guys' answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Do you think that win did anything to increase your confidence level of one of two things? One, both, whatever. That the team can make a push for the 8 seed. You guys just were talking about this, currently 2.5 games behind Phoenix, or that they could flip the switch when the time comes and be able to make a deep playoff run.
I'll take this one, Bresnahan. I don't want to sound like a cynical guy or Captain Negative, because I'm not at all. I enjoyed that win. I thought it was a complete game. Offensively, they were phenomenal. But I don't put much stock into it. I've seen this team play great. They're very capable of.
I don't want to interrupt you, sorry.
Yeah,
but let me add this so that I don't sound
okay.
like a part of my hosting role. Austin did comment today at practice saying that from a mentality standpoint, not just versus the Atlanta Hawks, but he feels a shift in where the team is. So maybe two from that.
I don't think so. I just don't think one win against the Hawks
It's
can
not a
do it
good
after
team.
you just lost the two most important games. If you had that switch, then you would have put it to use in the two most important games of the year. So the fact that you did against the Hawks on the second night of a back-to-back at home, you should smash that team. And they played great. So I'm not kind of buying that narrative. I hope. Does it give me more confidence? The answer is no. I already have confidence that they can make a run if they're put in the right position. But I just don't. It doesn't make me go, oh, they got it. I don't. And I don't see the 8 spot as possible. Brez, I liked your thought.
I do.
Because they are 3 games back with 13 to go. Can they go 8-5? And you mean the Suns got to go 5-8? That's
Yes.
a lot.
I'm going to give you the Suns' schedule,
ask.
though. Okay, they have a few throwaway
Can the Lakers
games.
go 8-5?
I think Lakers are going to do better than that because
Yeah,
their
I think so,
schedule's
too.
easy. The Lakers have one of the top 5 easiest
So
schedules.
9-4 is doable in your eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Suns have the second hardest. And Allie, they have their next few
Their
games.
schedule's brutal.
They better win their next few games. Okay, they have the Spurs a couple times, another crummy team, I forget who it is, and then their last 10 games. Check this out. Denver, Minnesota twice, the Clippers twice, New Orleans twice, one of the hottest teams in all of basketball, Sacramento, Cleveland, OKC.
They can also win a few of them, right? Like half those games.
That's a tough schedule,
Yeah,
though.
no, it is for sure.
So
We just went through it.
Yeah, and the Lakers have the tiebreaker thanks
Yeah.
to that one little extra
Yeah.
play-in tournament game that they played, and they beat the Suns in. So they actually played the Suns 5 times. They went 3-2. So they have the tiebreaker. The Lakers' schedule is going to be really easy coming up, especially this road trip, the 6-gamer. It might be the easiest road trip I can remember. They played Milwaukee the first game, and then it is just.
I love what you're selling.
Yeah.
If it was 2 games or 1, I'm all in. I just think 3's a lot, but it's possible for sure.
It is.
It's possible.
It is. And if the Lakers get to that 7-8, it just changes their whole outlook. I mean, because I also think Denver's going to win the West. They have the second easiest schedule.
That's my next thing.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not like overly confident or happy about this win or thinking they can pull the switch is because they're not in the 7-8 spot. If they were in the 7-8 spot, I would have way more confidence because I've seen it last year. I think the matchup will be better because 9-10, 7-8, you got to win 2 games, possibly on the road against really good teams, and then go play Denver. I just, to me, that's not.
We were just talking too about how
worth it.
great the Lakers have
You don't want to
been
play Denver. Yeah.
essentially at home, but on the road, just 12-20 this year.
Yeah.
Having said that, Darvin mentioned today, he obviously continued to reiterate just how much, as we all sit here, because it is our jobs to look at the standings and break down the schedule, et cetera. He made it very clear that this team has to just focus on themselves.
Yeah.
And I mean, it doesn't matter what any other team does, obviously. But I think if they're able to take advantage of the schedule and put themselves at least in that set, that's what we were all talking about before practice day, that 7-8 spot. Oh boy.
I would be more confident if Jared Vanderbilt was on this team playing.
That's
I just
an
feel
issue.
like they would have that. The switch is not the right word. The ability, because they've already done it a year ago. That doesn't mean anything in sports. We all know that, but sometimes it does. You know, sometimes it can help you, or at least you know you can do it. You have the confidence to do it. But I just feel like it would make our bench better, and you know, all that stuff. So, without him, I just still don't feel that confident with anything.
Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, here we are 3.5 weeks from the end of the regular season, and Gabe Vincent has started doing some non-contact work, so he might be back within a week or 2. We don't know.
What does
Sounds
that
like
mean?
we might hear from him very soon as well.
Yeah,
I'd like to know what that means for us.
he's only played 5 games with the Lakers,
That's what
right?
I mean, so I don't know what it looks like.
But my comparison is he's at least out there, and we're getting updates. Vanderbilt's not even doing non-contact work.
Yeah.
He's not running. He's not working out with one-on-one drills, jumping, with player personnel coaches.
Do you think that, just hear me out on this, do you think that they are trying to wait till the last possible second and don't think that they need necessarily a lot of days built up for contact work of Jared Vanderbilt because he has played more this season? And it's more so of, I understand that typically you don't go back to game action until you've at least played 5-on-5. But do you think that's going to not take as long to get to 5-on-5 because
it's a tricky
he
question.
has played?
Maybe. It's tricky because
versus where Gabe, you have to do all the steps.
It's his foot.
Yeah.
And there was talk of having surgery on it. So the
I thought
fact he didn't have
I'd
surgery.
heard he was gone for the year.
Yeah, exactly.
So then
exactly.
it changed.
You've got to be careful.
But has it?
If it was a broken wrist or Allie, like a forearm, a little crack in your forearm.
Sprained ankle.
Yeah, anything where you can stay on the treadmill or at least the bike or something and keep the legs going, it's his foot. So we have no idea. We can only guess he's not in basketball shape.
Remember how long it took him, Brez, when he returned the first time?
Yeah. I think there's going to be quite the runway with Jared. So, Gabe's been doing non-contact work for a couple weeks now. He's yet to be cleared for contact, which hopefully happens this week. So if Vanderbilt is under the same timetable, we haven't even heard he's doing non-contact
Mental
yet.
toll it takes on these guys too. I mean, a guy like Gabe Vincent, we saw with Kendrick Nunn, and it's not the same. But you know, when you don't, there's all these expectations on you, and you're not hitting them. Listen, not just from fans or the outside world, himself. He's a professional athlete. He signed a nice deal. He wants to be here. He wants to play.
No doubt.
He hasn't been able to do that. There's a huge hurdle mentally to get over. It's not just the physical.
Yeah.
Does it help to know that the anticipation is to have Cam Reddish back on Friday?
Yeah.
What happened?
That is the latest.
Yeah. Where's he? What's going on?
Ankle. Still dealing with that ankle injury.
He's really disappeared from this team.
He came back for a little bit, then he went away, and so
I mean, kind of need him.
Yep. They anticipate having him back on
you
Friday.
need a guy like that hustles and plays D
And then obviously the news regarding Christian Wood of having surgery yesterday.
That hurts too. Yeah.
So
I don't see how he comes back for the regular season. In fact, I think that they're planning to go without him for the regular season. We don't know the details of the surgery, just that it was arthroscopic surgery in the knee. That could be a couple different things. It could be meniscus, could be clearing some little bone fragments out of there. So, I'm guessing he's out till at least mid-April. And then he's going to need a runway, too, of a couple weeks to get back in shape if the Lakers are in the playoffs and doing well. But that to me, that leaves a hole, obviously an obvious hole at big man. More minutes for AD, more minutes for Jackson Hayes, who's been playing well, and more minutes for LeBron or Rui at the small ball center. Because those guys, Jackson and AD need their rest, too, at certain points. So it's, losing a big man this late in the year. And you can't go, you can't hope someone cuts a big guy from their team. That's over. March 1st was a deadline to be cut and join another team and be eligible for playoffs. So it's not like there's a really good big just sitting out there waiting to be signed for the Lakers. So it's not good. It's not good.
Barring any setback, Anthony Davis is on pace to play the most games since 2018, I believe. He just reached the 65-game mark. We're seeing the normal shift for LeBron James when it comes to this time of year. How tough is it, I guess, then, to think about those factors of guys that were certainly expected to be a big part of the rotation, possibly as we sit here and question whether or not we're going to see him the rest of the year, but yet you see your big stars available, ready,
Never saw
healthy,
that happening.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing has always been if we can keep the two guys healthy.
That's been the biggest question.
They'll
For years,
dominate.
that's been the biggest problem. And they've been healthy and actually played at a great level. And it's the same exact record as a lot of these years. Yeah. So really hard to wrap your head around that one. Both playing at a great level.
Do you still have that confidence, though, going into any matchup?
Yeah, because I think I do.
Yeah.
If they're healthy and playing well, they're going to have a chance. It doesn't mean you win, but listen, it's not. Nobody else wants that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean they wouldn't beat us, but it's not something I just know from talking to people that are in it. They don't want that.
Yeah.
LeBron could be 70th. I don't think they want it. Just the thought of one game against LeBron and AD or a 4 out of 7 series, they're gonna. It's frightening for another opponent as well.
I think the only team the Lakers fear, and I know they got swept by Sacramento this year, the only team they fear in the West is Denver. I'm not even sure they fear them. No NBA guys are scared of another team. They would like to be on the other side of the bracket from the Denver Nuggets if they're fortunate enough to get out of the play-in tournament.
Confident.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's the only team that I'm like, you don't want to play them in the first round or the second round. You want to wait till the West Finals if you can, just like last season. But the Lakers, they cannot control their own destiny. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff out there They need other teams to lose, like Phoenix, maybe Dallas, although Dallas beat Denver the other night. I wonder who the Lakers are rooting for in that one, because, it's always like, we don't want to see Denver in the first round, but Dallas is right ahead of us in the standings.
That is interesting.
There's just so many.
Luka's gone crazy, so has Kyrie. They've kind of like won the games.
Yeah.
They've like the miracle wins that'll probably put them in that 7-6 spot.
Yeah, I think that horse left
they
the
should have
barn.
lost some games and they didn't.
Yeah,
and I had them slipping.
And there were games where
Dallas?
Yeah, and there were games where Kyrie and Luka were both out. Not
when
just
Kyrie
maybe
hit
at
the
the same time.
left-handed hook against Jokic, you're like, you know what?
It's
Congrats.
Yeah,
Do you think
the
they
horse is
could
gone.
give, again, this is 2 weeks in a row now, but sorry, Denver's at the top. Do you think that they could give Denver a run in a 7-game series, Dallas?
Phoenix went 6 of them last year, right?
Yeah,
I could see that. Like, Luka and Kyrie are going to get a game or two. They could get,
Right.
yeah, I mean, those guys go off.
Yeah.
I like what they did at the deadline. They got P.J. Washington, kind of shoring up their interior. A good veteran, big guy. I like that team actually.
You know what Denver is though, Brez? I saw a little bit of the Minnesota game. Minnesota was playing without their big dogs, but here they had a lead in the fourth. But at the end of that game, it's reminding me of every Laker game they play. They are so comfortable, and they just know they have that extra gear and their ability to execute better than everyone. And they're so confident against a Laker team. They're also confident against every other team.
Yeah.
There's no team where they go. They have everyone's number. They know exactly what they can do. So
It's so funny.
but Dallas could give them a little run for sure.
Yeah. It was so funny. People were freaking out earlier in the year. The Nuggets were like, I don't even remember, 14-9. Even that might be a little grosser than it really was. Luka had a couple single-digit scoring games. And everyone's like, ooh, I don't know. The championship hangover. Are they a one and done? No, they were not a one and done. They were a very good team. They probably partied pretty hard during the offseason.
Well,
Why not? First title in franchise history.
You and I saw it firsthand. Like, when you're winning a championship for the first time, your pedals to the metal most of the time. That whole year, you're going for home court. You think you need it to win.
Right.
You're not stopping. And then once you win, you're like, okay, I know how to do it. I do not need to care at certain points. I can kind of manage our season, and it's just a different. Warriors they're coming out of the gate as hot as can be, right? Like when they were first getting going. Then they kind of learned how to, we don't need to be that.
It's no surprise
every
that OKC and Minnesota, teams that aren't familiar with high playoff seeds, they're probably gunning. They want that top seed. Minnesota's not going to get too many injuries in the front court, but this OKC Denver thing is going to be really, really interesting. I mean,
it also depends on your personalities for players too. Like who on your team is driving that regular season? Like back in the day when you talk to the Bulls guys, the Kerrs of the world and Bushlers of the world and those guys, like Jordan drove that team in the regular season because he wanted the records, he wanted everything. Now's a different kind of time. Like I think Kobe could drive that too, the regulars. But I think now guys, they kind of just know. And once you've won, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Boston hasn't won yet.
no.
They have no choice but to go start to finish.
Would you take Denver or Boston right now?
I would
That's
take
the
Denver.
matchup that everyone's.
But I think it'd be a phenomenal matchup.
You take Denver?
I think I would.
I think I would
take
too.
Denver too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Boston's
can't go
a problem,
Boston
dude.
until they've done it.
I don't see anyone in the East beating them. Just the Drew Holiday, the Porzingis, Derek White, Brown,
Porzingis is
Tatum.
so
Would you be
fragile,
surprised,
though?
though?
Bench, they shoot 40. What?
Good
Would you be
bench.
surprised, though, if they don't come out?
You know what? No, because they've shown us every single year that they can panic. And Captain Panic lives in Boston for sure. So it makes me real excited. He has a full, nice condo downtown there. So he can
In the high
come
rent
out.
district.
Yeah. He loves the
High
rage in
rise.
Boston. So he can come out and get them going. It would be so freaking awesome if they went out early.
Yeah.
It'd party in the street.
Milwaukee's starting to get their people back too.
I mean,
we'll
listen.
see. And Philly, maybe Embiid soon.
I
don't know.
those teams are capable.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up headlines, let's take a listen to Austin Reeves after practice on ratcheting it up, the intensity after back-to-back tough losses.
Last week, we had an opportunity to, when we played SAC twice in Golden State and we, didn't capitalize on those. And, you see, kind of how things can change so quick that, I think everybody, especially from that Atlanta game the other night, you could tell everybody was locked in on one goal, and that was winning. And the way we do that is, playing the game the right way. So, I think that, the intensity's ratcheting it up and kind of in that mindset of, must win.
All right. Well, Did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a point. And Geeter was just kind of, without saying it, that, the Lakers have had their chances.
100%.
They lost twice to Sacramento within a week. They lost that Golden State game here.
Lost Phoenix.
Yeah. I mean, they've had chances. So I can see why Austin Reeves is kind of like, well. I mean, things are getting better, but let's just wait and see how we do. We need to prove ourselves.
They've played good basketball since February, since those 2 losses, and started with Boston. They've played good basketball. They've lost games just like you do in an NBA season. But the games that they've lost that we have put, whether it's valid or not, a lot of emphasis on because of the standings, they've lost all 4 of them. Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
Even their 2 losses to Denver in the last month and a half were both good losses.
Good games.
Yeah.
Good games.
Yeah.
Those are, listen, man, that happens.
But you got to win them.
Yeah.
But
they won
if you
some
want to
great
get out
games.
of that
OKC, Bucks, Minnesota. But, it would have been nice to get those up.
Yeah.
If you go 2-2 in those 4,
right.
we're now we're really eyeing that.
You're knocking
game.
on Phoenix's door.
Yeah.
Lakers back in action on Friday, taking on the Sixers in L.A. Lakeshire fans, remember, you can be part of the show each week. Feel free to send us your questions, comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, it's around a bucket or brick. Welcome back to Lakeshow Podcast, presented by Jack in the Box. If you're enjoying the show, you can check out more original podcasts from our Spectrum News journalists on the Spectrum News app. Just head to the podcast section to listen to the latest episodes. You can download the Spectrum News app on the App Store or Google Play. It's time now for Around a Bucket or Brick, presented by Jack in the Box. D'Angelo Russell is where we begin. He tied Nick Van Exel's franchise record for three-pointers made in a season with 183. Bucket or brick, D'Lo has the ultimate green light from behind the arc.
Based on what Darvin said the other night, he has beyond the green light. He has the green room. He's definitely proven that he is the best shooter on this team. And Darvin even said it himself, which, I was kind of like, interesting quote. He said, Darvin said he's hands down the best shooter on the team. And
is it even close?
Yeah, I mean, you would think maybe Reeves at times or Rui's on a good run, but yeah, it comes back to D'Lo. Keep firing away, D'Lo. You have a green studio too.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, yeah, he does. I mean, he's one of the better shooters, 3-point percentages in the league, right? So,
yeah,
he definitely has a green light, right? I would think.
Yeah.
I mean,
love it.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves' last 2 games, 11 points, 4 of 13 from the field, 2 of 9 from deep versus the Warriors, 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 0 for 3 versus the Hawks. Plus, he got posterized by Jalen Johnson. Bucket or brick, you at all worried?
Brick, not even a second worried, because I just did a pregame show a few days ago where we were talking about what a heater he was on. It's, you know what I mean? Like he was shooting 52. Yeah, I mean he's having a great run. He just had I mean, I don't know. Steph goes 2 for 9, and I mean, it's 2 games is.
We're not in the Tyrese Halliburton.
We just won by 30.
Biggest slump of his life.
Right? Like, didn't they just win by 30 points?
Yeah.
He did not play in the fourth quarter. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't even know he was that bad the last 2 games until you mentioned it. So
Yeah.
I
actually didn't either.
He's not on my radar.
Like I said, we were
slumping.
doing a segment on what a heater he was on. So.
Yeah.
I know it was a rough one versus the
have no
Warriors.
problems.
Felt that
Yes,
one
he did
because
have a bad
Anthony
game against the
Davis
Warriors,
was not
absolutely.
out there, so I probably got.
I
a
also
little
didn't
more
work that
exposed.
Warriors game, so I wasn't as dialed in, and I was watching it at a restaurant. So when the guy came up to me and said, he
Shout out to you guys.
Allie was here. Yeah.
What?
The waiter came up to me, remember?
Yeah, we love and salt.
Yes.
We love. Shout out.
It's pretty expensive. They can give us some free then I'll be, yeah. Then I would.
You'd love it even
no,
more.
Jack in
better
the
than
Box
Jack
is
in the
way
Box, though.
better than Love and Salt.
Jack in the Box. I love Billy Mack.
Jack in the Box. All right, Anthony Edwards had perhaps the dunk of the year over
Bucket.
John Collins. Bucket or brick,
Bucket.
Ant-Man is the best in-game dunker in the NBA today.
So that's a good question.
You guys,
That's a
Jalen
good
Green's
one.
pretty darn good.
There's some really good dunkers, but
Cam Whitmore, also on the Rockets. He's going to be someone to watch over
the
the
Rockets
years.
have like 3 good dunkers, don't they?
He's not playing, but John Morant, obviously.
John Morant.
This is a really good one.
I'm going to go yes because of that one.
Who's the best dunker of all time?
In game?
Dominique Wilkins.
Vince
Vince.
Carter. The Mount Rushmore would be Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Shoot, you got to put LeBron in. I mean, LeBron's had some amazing
He
dunks
has.
in his
How
career.
about Zion?
MJ.
Can't forget him.
Kobe had some nasty ones, but I don't know if he's on the Rushmore. Dominique.
Dr. J. Got to throw him in there. The guy I loved as a
Jay.
kid. I thought he was a real doctor, Keat.
Yeah. Gerald
Did
Green was
you
great. That's such a
bucket or
great call,
brick? I'm
Bergen.
sorry.
I'm gonna bucket this.
I think he's earned it after the last
That's a good question. But
Yeah.
dunk.
that was special.
All right, injury updates. Christian Wood, arthroscopic knee surgery. No timeline yet provided for his potential return. Cam Reddish practiced, should be available to play Friday. Vando, Gabe, going through their individual processes in a very positive way. Bucket or brick, you are losing faith that reinforcements are on the way for the Lakers.
Unfortunately, that's a bucket. I am losing faith. I don't want to.
Yeah.
To bring the podcast full circle.
I don't want to.
Faith.
I want to brick it, Brez, but I could not. I'm just trying to be honest with you and Allison.
Yeah, God, I think we're agreeing on everything, Keith. I'm going to bucket this as well, only because Vanderbilt. To me, he's the key of all the guys you just mentioned.
Yeah.
He's the guy that they need the most. You know, a lockdown wing defender. Was hitting some threes too before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Remember, and they were beating Boston. He got hurt in that game.
Brez, how are we supposed to have confidence? Vando's in a boot. Christian Wood's having surgery.
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent has played in 4 games this year.
Yeah.
And Cam Reddish is coming back. That's not reinforcements.
I mean, I want to
He's played
say
in
I'm
5.
confident, but I mean,
Vincent.
yeah.
You're looking at me
It's
sideways. Okay. What are you guys doing for the NCAA tournament tomorrow? It opens up officially tomorrow.
Man, I have a lot of chauffeur duties, but I'm going to be obviously, any chance I get. Usually get together with a crew, but I'm not going to be really able to do that. But Saturday's going to be my day for March Madness for sure.
Are you guys bracket people?
Yeah.
I
Filled
haven't
out,
filled one out
pools
yet. I
are
have
we
about
in?
9 tonight that I have to fill out.
Yeah, 2 pools. I like those
Lot of pools.
I like those survivor pools where you pick one team every day, every tournament
Love
day.
that. Are
Pick
you
one
one of
team.
those?
You
Who are
can't
you
use
picking?
them again.
Who are you guys picking?
Well, I think like a couple of my brackets, safe ones, will have to have UConn in there winning it. Mm-hmm. And then I'll have a couple of other brackets where if you really want to win, you might have to pick someone else, like Tennessee, someone that can get hot.
Houston. I'm going with Iowa State.
Although Rob Ory's got me off the Houston train because one of their main guys is hurt. He was saying like he thought they could have won it, but so do some research on that one, Brez.
Interesting.
Who's the first one to go out? I think Purdue.
Purdue. Yeah, we just beat them. Wisconsin just
I hate
beat
to say
them.
it, big game, James, but be careful, North Carolina round 2. If Mississippi State gets there, they got a guy that could be the talk of the tournament. Apparently, can get hot.
You've done some research on this.
Just watching a little like Sean Farnham and some of the fellows on ESPN. I don't know. I mean, really, I don't. I have not watched a college basketball game this year.
I've watched
just being honest. I've watched parts of them.
Oh, okay.
I've not sat and watched a whole game.
It's weird out here because no USC,
that is weird.
no UCLA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so weird to, like, it's very muted local coverage. Long Beach State is the only local
Long Beach,
team.
that's a great story.
Yeah. I mean,
Did you hear
Dan
what he
Monson.
said? Did you hear what he said?
It's like Seinfeld.
Yeah, he said it's like I'm living in a Seinfeld episode where George got fired by Steinbrenner. I mean, where did he quit? Remember he quit the Yankee, called Steinbrenner all those names, and then he just came back the next day and goes, "I'm gonna pretend it never happened." And he was like, and Steinbrenner walked by. And I was, didn't you quit? He's like, "No, I was kidding." So he's like, "Yeah, I'm working for free. I could say whatever I want."
Yeah. And by the way, shout out to USC women for getting the top seed in.
That's awesome.
It must be the West, right? So there is going to be some local buzz if they keep advancing, but it's just so weird to not have UCLA men or USC men in the tournament.
March Madness has become like I still love it like I always did. I used to follow college basketball a lot more, so now it's like I don't, but I still love the whole pomp and circumstance of it all. And
yeah,
it's so fun.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Nice.
Gambling's fun too.
There is that. Pools.
Shoot.
Allie, how many are you going to enter?
I actually don't. I haven't even thought about it. I have not thought about filling out a bracket. I haven't filled out a bracket in a minute.
You know someone in Vegas?
How is that
but
possible?
I haven't filled out a bracket. I
You're
don't
a
know.
hoops person.
I guess I could do it just because.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm not a gambler like that.
$10 in a pool or
I have no
that's
friends.
That's not gambling.
want me to invite you,
You
to a
guys,
couple
yeah, you
pools?
guys are talking about all your pools. No one once has
Do you
invited
not
me into
Roman,
a pool.
who's a good friend of yours, used to work here.
No, I don't talk to Roman.
He's got a pool.
Roman's not my friend.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Still got a pool though.
I didn't know. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
You know people in Vegas right now. You could call and say, hey, give me 100 large on Duquesne.
Brez
if you
will know
wanted
this
to.
name.
I need that for my nail appointment.
Jumpin' Joe Shudo.
Yes.
Okay. It's a guy that grew up in the Valley, used to be the principal at
Former
where Brez.
Buckley principal.
I worked with him at Campbell Hall. He's
Yeah.
my brother's age. Okay. His brother, Jimmy, I coached at Campbell Hall basketball. He's like the 14th guy on the bench. Just a great guy. He still runs. It's been 30 years now.
Wow.
He runs a pool, and he does it by hand, and he does the full, like, emails, breaking down everything. Who's reffing games? He heckles. It's pretty amazing. He went to St. Mary's, so he's a huge St. Mary's fan. But I appreciate, and he still has a pool where it's $10 a bracket, and you do fill out 2, you get 1 for free. And there's like 1,000 guys in this thing. So if you win this thing, you win a lot of money.
Whoa.
Oh,
but it's hard
wow.
to win, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just cool to still be a part of that because he's like, still does it like you did it in the 90s.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You can enter like 6 brackets in that one.
Yeah, I mean, $10 you can,
Yeah,
if you
why
wanna-
not?
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, bracket crazies.
Thank you.
My brother would have won it last year had San Diego State won the title.
Oh, I
It was
remember
that-
that.
it was that close?
That's his alma mater too, right?
Yes.
I
He
remember
was there.
that
The
last year.
greatest weekend of his life, he calls it.
I remember that last year. Excited to do Dodgers.
The Butler
Hey.
did it.
Hey guys, go in peace to love and serve the Lord.
He does.
Go at what?
Go in peace to love and
does have
serve the
kids.
Lord.
Is that something you guys would always say?
Yes.
Go in peace
That's what
to
they
love
say at
and
the end
serve
of
the Lord.
Catholic Mass. So
Did you know that?
Absolutely. Peace
Go
be
in
with you.
peace be with
And also
And
with
also
you.
with you.
Yeah.
Thanks to you for
Lift
listening
up
to
your
the
hearts.
Lakeshow
We lift them up
podcast.
to the Lord.
Presented
Yeah.
by Jack in the Box. If you
Yeah.
like what you hear, leave us a rating
It's a
or
higher
review on your
calling on
favorite
this
podcast
podcast.
app. We want to hear from you. Send us your questions. Hit us up on X at Really Clifton at Keter 3 at Mike_Bresnahan. Until next week.
It's gonna be
Go
my
to
new
Mass.
workout jam. This song.
What do we say in volleyball? Serve Jesus, praise the Lord.
Peace be with you.